Hi, everyone. So I'm going to model how I did There Will Come Soft Rains for annotation and highlighting so that you can see really what we expect from you. And it's okay, we don't have to be there yet. But we want to make sure that you do see a copy of what it should look like if you are using quality annotations and truly digging into the literature. So I'm going to read the story to you, and I'm going to highlight and annotate as we go through. And as I'm annotating, I am going to give you my thinking around things. And when you're annotating, your thinking may not always be 100% right by the time you get done, but we expect you to take risks and try and dig into really why is the author doing that? Why is it significant? Those should be the questions that you always ask yourself. Why is this important? Why this instead of something else? So There Will Come Soft Rains by Ray Bradbury was written in the 1950s. And while many consider it a work of science fiction, Bradbury says that he does not. He actually believes that he's just been able to accurately predict how the world is going to go, as if he can see the bigger picture. And so far, it seems like he's going to be spot on. So here we go. And I'm only going to use one color highlighter. And I know for some of you struggling to use multicolors, that is confusing. So if that is, just use one. Okay, the key is your annotations, not the colors. Colors just help you differentiate what you're looking for. In the living room, the voice clock sang, tick tock, 7 o'clock, time to get up, 7 o'clock, as if it were afraid nobody would. The morning house lay empty. The clock ticked on, repeating and repeating its sounds into emptiness. 7-9, breakfast time, 7-9. So in this first paragraph, I highlighted words such as saying, and I also looked at the words repeating and repeating. And I looked at emptiness and the word afraid. All right. So saying and afraid, I did it because it was personification. Now I'm going to move my cursor so it's kind of between the two of them because I want my annotations to align with my highlighting so that when I go back and look at it, I don't have to spend time going, oh my gosh, where does this go? And having to reread the page. The purpose of annotating is to be able to not just interact with the text as you're reading to get a deeper meaning, but also to be able to use this to go back and study. And it's so much more efficient versus going back and having to reread and skim everything. You just won't have time. You're busy people. So the first one, saying and afraid, is personification. And yes, I'm going to identify it, but I need to do more than just say it's identification. That's just a basic identification. You need to go past that. What is Bradbury trying to tell me? So Bradbury is trying to tell me that this technology is giving the house human emotion and feelings. And yes, I cannot spell this early in the morning. There we go. Then I looked at repeating and repeating. And actually, I really did not annotate that one until I got down farther because I started to recognize a motif. So I'm just going to put motif just because it also had 7 o'clock, time to get up, 7 o'clock. So it's repeating right there. And then again, it says repeating. So I'm going to look at this and go motif, a reoccurring idea. And I'm just going to say it's the idea of repeating things over. What is Bradbury trying to tell me? And I don't know yet. This is the first few sentences, so I'm not really sure what he's saying. And then emptiness. And I did it because of the idea of the loneliness of the voices. Almost seems like it should be echoing. All right. In the kitchen, the breakfast stove gave a hissing sigh and ejected from its warm interior 8 pieces of perfectly brown toast, 8 eggs sunny side up, 16 slices of bacon, 2 coffees, and two cool glasses of milk. Now, here I just highlighted the 2 coffees and the 2 glasses of milk, but I really did put it together with the rest of the sentence to note that this seems to be a family of 4. 2 adults and 2 kids. Now, while I oftentimes have a cup of coffee, in our house it's pretty common to have coffee and milk in the morning, the fact that there's 8 eggs and 16 slices of bacon leads me to believe that there's a family of 4, 2 adults and 2 kids, because that's a lot of food. But it makes me question, why is the house making breakfast when there's no one home? Because I think about today, and if I don't want coffee because I know I'm not going to be home, I could control it by turning off the timer because I know I'm not going to be home. Or if I had the new Fandango ones, I could actually control it from my smartphone. So if for some reason I chose not to come home. So that made me wonder, do they have the ability to turn it off? Today is August 4th, 2026, said a second voice from the kitchen ceiling. In the city of Allendale, California. It repeated the date 3 times for memory's sake. Today is Mr. Featherstone's birthday. Today is the anniversary of Talicia's marriage. Insurance is payable, as are the water, gas, and light bills. Somewhere in the walls, relays clicked, memory tapes glided under electric eyes. All right. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to look at August 24th, 2026, and then Allendale, California. So, yes, this is the setting, but I have to say more than that about just the setting, because I have to understand, why might this be important? Well, since this was written in the I believe 1950 exactly, this story was written 76 years ago. So why would he tell us 2026? Is he trying to warn us or tell us something about the future? And why California? Now, I know that we've come off of a war and we've come off of Japan attacking Pearl Harbor and us attacking Japan in the last decade. So I'm going to assume that California is because that would be where we'd be more likely to be attacked because of distance-wise. Somewhere in the walls, the relays clicked, memory tapes glided under electric eyes. So I also highlighted electric eyes.